Okay, which type of sampling is used? So these are the 5 kinds of samplings that we will study in this course. A sampling technique means that you use some kind of a technique to get a sample from a population, because most of the time we do not have access to the entire population. And so we have to find a clever way of taking a small sample so that the sample we choose is a good representative of the population. So the 5 techniques mentioned here are: first is convenience. Now that's a lazy person's approach where you just take a convenient sample. So in the example I gave earlier, that suppose we are interested in the average heights of all the ULM girls, and we want to take a sample of 50 girls. A convenient way would be that someone just stands outside the library and surveys the first 50 girls that enter the library at that time. That's a convenient way of doing it. Stratified and cluster, we'll come to that later. Systematic is where you use some kind of a system. So let's say that instead of just selecting the first 50 girls that enter the library, I can say that, okay, I will select every 10th girl that enters the library that day. So that's some kind of a system. It doesn't have to be a good system, but it just has to be a system. And then symbol random is that you just randomly choose. So in that, somebody can do is that can put the names of all the girls on a piece of paper and then just randomly draw 50 girls from there and sample those. And then uh, we have these 2-level samplings, which are stratified and cluster. So in stratified, you pick everything at the first level and a few at the second level. So for example, suppose we want to know the opinion of American public about the current president, and we can select all the 50 states, and let's say we select 30 people from each state, 30 persons from each state. So this one is a stratified because at the first level we selected everything. We selected all the states in which America was divided. But at the second level, we just chose a few people from each state. So this was stratified sampling. But if instead of choosing all the 50 states, let's say we choose only 3 states, for example, we don't choose all of them, but some of them. So let's say we choose Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas. But then we survey all the people in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Texas and ask their opinion. So this one will be cluster because at the first level we chose a few. We just chose 3 states instead of choosing all the states. But then at the second level we chose everybody from those states. And so this is cluster. So that's the opposite of stratified. So now with all this knowledge, let's see if we can answer this. To estimate the percentage of defects in a recent manufacturing batch, a quality control manager selects every 11th WAN. So that's systematic. You're using some kind of a system. A blank is obtained by dividing population into groups and selecting all individuals within a random sample of groups. So that's where you divide it into groups, but then you just select a few groups because you're taking only a sample of the groups, not all the groups, and then choosing everybody from those. So that's what we were calling as cluster. That you choose a few at the first level, only a few groups, but then everybody from those groups at the second level. And blank is obtained by dividing population into homogeneous groups and randomly selecting individuals from each group. So now each group is being counted. So groups for the first level. So everything is being chosen from the first level, and then some individuals from the second, at the second level. So that was stratified. Okay. Customer opinion. Toyota randomly selects 90 dealerships during a certain week and surveys all customers. So at the first level, they did not select all their dealerships. They just selected 90 of them. And then at the second level, they surveyed all the customers from those 90. So that was cluster. Toyota wants to administer a satisfaction survey. Using their customer database, the company randomly selects 80 customers. So now you just randomly selected 80 customers. So that's simple random. Because that was just like looking at their database and drawing lots. Internet site asks its members to call in their opinion regarding their web searching habits. So here, you're not even going out anywhere. You're just asking people to call and tell their opinion. So that's a lazy person's approach. So that's convenience. Determine her water pressure. Charlotte divides up her day into 3 parts: morning, afternoon, and evening. She then measures her water pressure at 2 randomly selected times during each part of the day. So first, the day is divided in 3 parts. So those are like the groups: the morning, afternoon, and evening. And then from each of the group, 2 times were selected. So at the first level, all the groups were selected because morning, afternoon, and evening all were selected. But at the second level, only a couple of times were selected from each group. So everything at first level, a few at second level, that's stratified.